Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do the Q&A video, but more like responding to comments video that I promised a while back. Thank you so much for submitting any questions. It was kind of hard to find questions to compile into one video, but I have made it responding to comments because there's more comments than questions. But I'll get to the questions first. If I can filter this or not. Are the people that choose thumbs down deaf, insensitive, or just envious? I don't know. But I just know that it's a fact of life whenever you're doing anything. Even normal people that are constantly hating on everyone else can be hated, and they are the ones that are hated. But mostly because they hate first. We do not like what they do. Anytime you do anything, there's always someone or some group of people that unite in their desire to hate on you, whether it's necessary or not. So this is your second intro to Gabriel. Yes, it is. That reaction was my second intro, mainly because I discovered him first on a YouTube channel called Tara Simon. She is the best vocal coach on YouTube. I must say to those who ever think that vocal coaches are a scam on YouTube, I would agree with that, but it also depends on if you let that bother you from moving on and trying to find quality coaches no matter where they are. It can be online, it can be as simple as my music and arts store down the street. Let's just say when it comes to vocal coaches in that manner, we're looking for quality rather than wherever or however they teach. I really love your reaction. Will you react to Gabriel's latest cover song? Yes, I will try to do that. I have a lot of reaction videos to get to in general, so I'm sorry if I don't get to it until months later. Gotta translate this one.
Você tirou do vídeo reaction Gabriel Henrique com a canção Emotions transmitido pelo seu canal hoje?
Which translates to, did you take the video reaction Gabriel Henrique with the song Emotions broadcast on your channel today? No, I did not. That is, if you mean, did I film it and post it that day? I did not do that. There are so many contexts to this question, it's hard to figure out what you mean. On to the second context, though, that pops into my mind. Did I premiere it that day? Yes, I did. As far as I know, I did. Context number 3 that I'm thinking about, did the video of his cover, Emotions, get filmed and synced up with how I reacted to it visually? Yes, I did that. Now this is from one of the Dimash Qudaibergen reactions. You're a tenor. Why do you think you're a baritone? Just work out your way to the high C if you want to. I can bet you can already reach A or A sharp. You are right about the second part. I am trying to work to that. But here's the thing, with the weight on my voice, I am not a tenor. I am not a tenor. I am a baritone, but here's why I think I'm a baritone instead of a tenor. I have a bright tone to my voice, but I can still have a lot of weight to it. I have much bigger of a sound to carry up to notes like that than a tenor. Let's just imagine a tenor being brought down slightly in where they're comfortable. It would be like a minor third to a major third to a major fourth as far as differences in note-to-note comfort. Here's my example. Yeah is a middle C. By contrast, a tenor would be more comfortable singing an E flat, E, or F. As you can tell, I have much more physical work to do to sing up there. Tenors are not going to be like that. So yeah, that's why I think I'm a baritone. Because I have heavier sound, a brighter sound than most baritones, I'll give you that. But I have a heavier sound than tenors in general. That's why I think I'm a baritone. Congratulations. I would like to know more about you and what you do /like/love/appreciate in life. Choose what you want to share. Thank you for the freedom, I suppose. If I were to say one thing, it would be choose the truth. Choose the truth no matter what. Do not let your emotions drive you away from that. That is different, however, from achieving your goals the right way. That is still honorable regardless, depending on what it is. But I'm just saying, don't let other people's dangerous, negative, drag you down emotions affect how you respond to the truth, because the truth is life. I've always believed that. I don't know why. I always believe that anyway, and it's why I'm unregrettably, blatantly, and bluntly honest with everyone I meet. Sometimes that gets me into trouble, but for the most part, it makes sure that everyone gives me respect. Sometimes that also means you have to push away other people that you know are bothering you. You know what I mean. That's one thing that I not only do /like/love/appreciate in life, but it is a necessity if you want to know me, or if you want me to be in your life. The second thing, oh boy. If something makes more sense than what you personally want to believe, and this, let's just say, relates to Christianity, just go with it. Go with it. Take that risk to leave behind what you want to hold on to just for a moment, and come see what it brings you. At least have the curiosity mindset to see what that does for you. You may be skeptical, and that's fine. I do not blame you if you grew up a certain way and believe certain things, and have believed certain things for a long time. With that type of life, it's fine to be skeptical, but at least just go in, take the risk, and see what happens. Then decide. Try both sides is what I'm saying before you make a decision. And I'm talking to a lot of atheists, skepticists, materialists, naturalists, anything who believe in ists other than, well, that have everything to do with the world. Mostly the world. Congrats on reaching 1K subscribers. That's a big step. Oh, yes. Are you a classically trained musician? If so, where were you schooled, or are you just naturally gifted enough? Thanks for the reactions. Good luck. Next stop, 2K. First off, thank you for the encouragement to keep going forward. I would have regardless, but this really helps, so thank you so much. Am I a classically trained musician? No, but I want to be. Now, when it comes to my voice, I don't really know if I'm classically trained, but I do make sure that whenever I sing anything, I can do it on the spot. Because I know there's like techniques for everything you do. I think the only thing I'm trying to do is just be able to sing soprano parts in opera arias. That sounds like a lot of fun. Not only for my voice, but for being one of those people who sound gorgeous! To show off a tiny bit, I'm gonna just do it away. Let's just say that's a tiny bit of what I can do. If you can understand how much I like soprano, traditional head voice sound, if you know what I mean. I really like it. So much so that I'm imitating Julie Andrews as much as possible. It's a type of singing I've appreciated more than most, and would just like die with glee because of how beautiful it was whenever I listened to it. It wasn't really intended to listen to it whenever I did when I was a child, but I do know that it was something I would connect to since birth. And that's why I want to do it with my own voice. I don't know about classically trained in general, at least for my voice specifically, but I do know that I grew up with classical environments before getting into contemporary voice, in addition to all that. Let's just say this, if I were classically trained as a musician, it would just be from constantly being in the performing arts section of middle school and high school. In middle school, it was 3 years straight of band playing the trumpet. We did not have any mics attached, it was just playing out into the audience, so yes, I know what classical performance can be like. And then I played the piano in addition to all the string instruments, as I was the piano accompanist to the orchestra. That was the only thing that I wanted to do, and I'm called the accompanist because it's mainly supposed to be strings only orchestra, and by the second half of high school I'd be lucky to be a part of any of the performances, which also means that for those it would be kind of hard to participate with their performances. I personally chose to stick with piano, and boy, glad am I that I did so. The reason why I liked piano is because you can sound amazing all alone if you ever wanted to do everything yourself and still sound amazing. I just wanted a way to play chords and not have to sound as a one-noted instrument. That's what I was struggling with in band, and it's basically what I've been looking for if I were to play any instrument. So yeah. And then I joined chorus for my senior year of high school. Here's the thing though. I joined chorus the senior year of high school, which was COVID year. I graduated after the quarantine. Or after the full quarantine. So, if I were to consider myself a classically trained musician, that's what I would use to back myself up. I don't know about anything else. I know I took piano lessons from a teacher who was on me about technique lovingly, though. He wasn't like, go, go, go. And it was technique he tried to have me focus on more than songs. It was annoying, but it really helped. And now it makes improvising and just playing intermediate pieces a walk in the park. Now, I mean, like, practicing them too, not just being able to play them. That'd be awesome, but I can't do that yet. And where were you schooled? Where I learned music was not a college yet. All I ever learned music from was last year of elementary. I decided to pick up on the ways of reading notes by my mother, because she's an elementary music teacher. My first actual instrument, sounds like a toy, but still can be considered an instrument, was a recorder. And that's when I tried to pick up on reading notes. It's also when I started to play stuff by ear. Doing that got easier too. And from then on, it was just being a part of groups, band group, orchestral group, and choir group. Of course, by the way, that's what we call ourselves. Just learning things naturally. It's not like I was Mozart doing and playing everything when I was 3 years old. No, I was never that. I'm not that. I'm not even to that level right now. But I will say I did not have to learn everything I know about music with a teacher. I did not find stuff difficult to learn. I just made sure to remember it because it seemed fun and easy to remember regardless. And if I'm naturally gifted, I don't know if it was enough to, have gone where I am now, but let's just say that I did improve a lot just by being naturally gifted, mainly because I just picked up on stuff. Information in music. I don't know. Gabriel grew up singing in church. His dad is a pastor. Cool. Makes sense, but still. Cool. He doesn't speak English, but is studying it, so his performances of any song in English are remarkable to accomplish. Sounds like me trying to do stuff in Russian. He's Brazilian, and he's not a tenor. Brazilian, yeah, definitely. Tenor sounds like a matter of opinion. I mean, the evidence to how I think he's a tenor could be wrong, but I haven't found so yet, so okay. Gabriel is Brazilian, and Brazilian speaks Portuguese, okay? Okay. Man, you better react to music and singer than to talk about your few vocal qualities, because singing, you have a lot to learn. I'm sure I do. But I'm certainly a musician at this point. Appreciate you reacting to this version. Thanks. Dimash is more than crazy high notes. He's not a freak. We love him for who he is, and how that translates through his voice. Yeah, darn right about that. Which no doubt is extraordinary, absolutely. His spirit is one of truth and beauty and love and passion and joy and hope and real connect. Yep, he is a bright light, a breath of fresh air, unique and inspirational. He will evolve his music as his soul directs. Whatever he does, I look forward to it because that soul will come with it. I absolutely agree with all of that. Too bad it's Basto version, not Gaku. You're kidding me, right? Nah, I'm not really kidding. I don't care for extreme high notes that I've heard millions of times already. Are you sure you're gonna react to the best version of Unforgettable Day? From the picture in the preview I can see that this is from Bastu concert, but you should definitely be reacting to the Gaku version, by far the best rendition of this song. Okay, here's the link. I'll watch it for you. And for this, I won't be listening to the full thing, but I will listen to that high note, which I've heard millions of times already, just for this. That's a rather big camera quality too. That's one thing I love. He goes and decides to come to the fans that are right up in front of him. That's awesome. So undo that. Is it just me, or was he singing out into the crowd and I could barely hear him but still hear him? I don't know. There. Yep, that's all I was there for, just to make you guys happy. Vous devrez écouter sa première version qu'il a fait dans une compétition de chant. Mais les sous-titres, il y a également le background de la performance qui va t'aider à comprendre le tout. Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Don't worry, I've seen it all. Thank you. It's a mistake to have expectations when it comes to Dimash. We just appreciate his efforts to bless our ears with those beautiful sounds. If you're drawn to and enjoy his music, then you fit the description Dimash gives of his fans. You're a dear, so no more you dears of Dimash, okay? Thanks for this reaction. That means so much. It's amazing that someone's not going to be elitist in his group of fans. It's so awesome. Haha, Dimash controls the fountains with the voice behind him. That's a funny statement. Well, it's true, because I don't know if it was planned or not. I just think it was synced up perfectly. That's all I can say. Making Dimash's cover is not the right decision. Sorry. You're forgiven. Because I know I'm capable. I didn't know how you would respond to it, so I can let it go easily. It's fine. It's fine. Now, this comes from my 2-year singing transformation video. One says, your vibrato needs a lot of work still, as well as pitch. Keep going, though. I'm on a journey as well. That's how I would like to describe someone who's trying to make something into constructive criticism rather than being rude about it. There's a difference between expressing your opinion, whether it's backed up by evidence or not, and being respectful about it. Now this one, by contrast, very bad, keep trying. Oh my goodness, I just had to respond. I said, depending on how far you watch, try going through the full song before deciding that. If you have, then I'll let you have your opinion. If not, go back and see if there's something you might have missed. Yeah, there are some things I don't really let go easily, especially when trying to get people to understand the truth. That's one thing that I try to make sure of whenever I encounter anything. Sometimes it's a habit of use, sometimes it's not at all. Now let's go into some of the comments of my previous covers and everything before reactions. I'm such a music lover too. Are you on the spectrum as well? The music is the only thing I tune into at WDW, especially Epcot. I love France. I don't know what you mean by spectrum, but if you're asking if I'm on the spectrum of music and just appreciating it, yes, definitely. I'm a certain person in the range. I feel like I'm most people, but just on the brink of it, like right about to enter into the people that have literally been doing stuff like this since birth. How old are you? I am 18 years old. I think we have similar taste in music. I love this song too. Thank you, I'm glad you think so. It was a cover of the song Speechless from Disney's Aladdin in 2019. You know, the year before we all went crazy. Very important song request. Reflection from Mulan. I already did that. Thick as you are. Pay attention. Scar struts away. Dummy. Thick lion butt cheeks clapping in the savannah twilight. Really? Unnecessary sorry, bruh. And the irony is he's covered in handsome Squidward. I didn't think this kind of thing existed anymore. I'm elated, I'm shaking, I'm a flurry of passion and emotion. I'm glad you think so, because I didn't know this was a really old show, that people are still really big fans like that. I like how you really get into the song. How did you do the backdrop? First off, I'm glad you thought so, because at the time, I was just concerned about what people would think constantly, even if I posted it. I'm glad I don't think that as much now. As to your question, how did you do that backdrop? I would say chroma key. You see that? That's what I use, a green screen. Whenever you have a video editor, like myself, it's necessary to feel sanity whenever you're editing videos. And that's how I am able to get the chroma key connected to that. Warning, your voice is very important. You could damage your voice if you don't do that. 15 to 20 minutes before singing, you can find great videos on YouTube about that drinking water. You can also check videos about how to breathe while singing. A bit technical, but all singers do that. Thanks. I definitely felt appreciative. There's always only one thing holding me back. Spice in the mouth. That was the only thing that made me feel stuck. If you go back to those, you could understand that as well. Spammers! Very cute. And then he held this out. I love watching these in the morning just to have a nice start of the day. Really happy that you liked those covers that much. I didn't, but I knew that it would be worth it because I would be happy to release it. And I'm so glad that people liked it too. Thank you so much. Strong finish. Good, because it was hard to keep a hold of. Back then I would never use vocal or mouth space other than high notes, and that's why it was slightly difficult to do high notes in general. At least high notes for me. It may not be Ariana Grande type of high notes, but I don't care. Oh wow, you made me cry. Then I ended up with a huge smile on my face. Well done, young sir. That just... oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. I really do like it when people are that supportive. It's so heartwarming because I knew at the time I was improving, but I had a lot to figure out. And it had so much time spent trying to figure it out. I don't even know if it was time wasted or not, but I'm just glad I got to where I am now. Great video, baby boy.
Shut up!
Do not do that to people. I'd rather not say anything because you are still in your nappies while she's a famous star at a young age. Why, I do believe you already said something because you said I'm in my nappies.
You do not know me at all. You really don't.
The technique Amira uses, which you criticize upon, will take you 20 years of training or more, and just when you're good enough, you might be able to master it. For the time being, please don't make any effort to match her. Oh, darling. I think you should get to know me before you say anything else.
Yes!
You need to go back to school. I have followed opera for many years. Someone don't have to be in opera school, honey, to be able to sing opera well. And you found fault with her technique. Please listen to yourself, or don't. Bye. When you come back to me, please make sure that I can have a turn to speak too. It would be so appreciative. By the way, don't pay too much attention to vocal coaches on YouTube. They are vocal coaches on YouTube for a reason. Instead, check what a real pro musician like Andrew Rio did with just a few professional masterclass lessons with her. Andrew actually was interviewed and questioned by the reporter if he had any vocal knowledge. He proudly admitted he had no form of knowledge about vocals and that he was a music producer. Andrew, with his excellent ear for music, improved what not one single so-called vocal coach can do. Here's the thing with that, though. It's like a stigma that people put on everything. If you want to be proven wrong, I can put some links here, 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 or here, or here, or here. Trust me when I say that is a complete lie. There are definitely such things as vocal coaches that are of good quality and not complete hypocrites. Sure, I definitely believe that could be the vast majority of vocal coaches on YouTube, but I've seen stuff that you apparently have not seen before. I enjoy someone so young reacting to a soprano who has the most natural abilities of any of her peers. You are obviously very keen to learn, and full marks for that. Your observation regarding Amira's mouth not being fully open does not, in my opinion, diminish her diction or voice quality whatsoever. Diction, absolutely not. Voice quality, completely agree. But I'm just trying to make those who really appreciate mouth space happy. I'm just speaking for those who have said that to me, not for myself. If I knew at least a tiny bit more about opera, I'm talking about more than just technique, or at least more than just vocal technique, I'd be able to understand exactly what to say at every moment. I was just taking myself to a ledge with this one, apparently. If you check out Pavarotti, for example, you'll find he rarely opens wide, and he produces magnificent diction and voice quality with resonance that lingers. Oh, absolutely. I believe that. I'm only saying that when she sang, "Oh mio bambino caro," the O sounded a little bit more like an ooh than I think it should have. That's where it's coming from. The operatic instinct in my mind that every vowel should have space no matter what the style of song it is. For musical theater, it's a little bit more freedom because sometimes you are speaking when you're singing. I hope that makes sense. But whenever you're singing, it's like, sometimes you're speaking when you're singing. The first one reminds me of musical theater, and the second one reminds me of just like general use of chest voice. Obviously not opera though. I'm talking about in contemporary uses. In opera, I think you have to have a lower larynx with the exact way I sang the second time. Back to what I was saying. Instead of, "Oh mio bambino caro," I may just be emphasizing it a bit, but that's just what I heard from the first time watching it. "Oh mio bambino caro." It may not seem very natural, but at least it makes sure that every bit of what you're saying is forced out of your mouth, aka good diction. Of course, no one's perfect with that. I definitely have had the joy of knowing I wasn't perfect when I would sing the French versions of contemporary Disney songs. Yes, I do that sometimes. But usually in opera, it's more like you have to do it until you can do it near to perfectly, if not perfectly. Okay, I believe that is all I have for today. Make sure to come back next week for a reaction to Diana Ankudinova, because that is who I'm doing next week, so stay tuned if you've been missing her for a while. Make sure to comment down below what reaction videos or covers you want me to make. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and click the notification bell if you like this video and want to see more videos in general from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time.